30 key takeaways from Chapter 5, Ethical Dilemmas. Of the Coming Wave, Technology, Power, and the 21st Century's Greatest Dilemma by Mustafa Suleiman and Michael Bhaskar. Each point is accompanied by a real-life example or anecdote to help illustrate the concept. Moral questions of tech deployment. Takeaway: new technologies force us to re-examine what is right and wrong. Example: debates around AI decision-making in autonomous vehicles highlight moral dilemmas similar to trolley problem scenarios. 2. Bias in artificial intelligence. Takeaway: AI systems can inherit or amplify societal biases if not carefully managed. Example: facial recognition software has been shown to misidentify people of color, leading to calls for algorithmic fairness. 3. Privacy versus innovation. Trade-off takeaway: advanced tech often intrudes on privacy, raising ethical concerns about surveillance. Example: governments using mass surveillance tools, e.g. in China, illustrate the tension between security and individual privacy. 4. Job displacement and economic disruption. Takeaway: automation and AI can displace jobs, challenging traditional labor markets. Example: factory automation in manufacturing has led to job losses, echoing current fears about AI replacing white-collar work. 5. Exacerbation of economic inequality. Takeaway: emerging technologies may deepen the gap between rich and poor if benefits are unevenly distributed. Example: wealth accumulation among tech billionaires contrasts sharply with stagnant wages for many workers. 6. Ethical responsibility in tech creation. Takeaway: developers and companies must consider ethical implications during innovation. Example: initiatives like Ethics by Design in AI research seek to embed ethical considerations into software from the start. 7. Dual-use dilemma takeaway. Many technologies can be used for both beneficial and harmful purposes. Example: CRISPR gene editing technology can cure genetic diseases or be misused for unethical human enhancements. Autonomy and the risk of over-automation takeaway. Excessive reliance on automated systems can erode human decision-making and agency. Example: algorithm-driven decision systems in hiring may reduce human oversight and ignore individual potential. Regulatory challenges. Takeaway: existing legal frameworks often lag behind rapid technological advances, complicating ethical oversight. Example: the slow pace of cryptocurrency regulation contrasts with its explosive growth, creating risks for investors. Transparency in algorithms. Takeaway: clear, understandable AI algorithms are essential to avoid hidden biases and unintended consequences. Example: open-source AI projects allow public scrutiny, which can help ensure fairness in decision-making systems. Accountability for tech misuse. Takeaway: there must be mechanisms to hold creators and deployers of technology accountable for misuse. Example: the controversy over Cambridge Analytica shows the need for accountability when personal data is exploited. Ethical use of data takeaway. How data is collected, stored, and used raises significant ethical concerns. Example: data breaches at major companies highlight vulnerabilities and the importance of safeguarding personal information. 13. Impact on civil liberties. Takeaway: unchecked technology can infringe on civil liberties such as freedom of expression and association. Example: internet censorship in some countries demonstrates how technology can be used to suppress dissent. 14. Moral implications of synthetic biology. Takeaway: engineering life through synthetic biology presents profound ethical questions about what it means to be human. Example: debates around designer babies illustrate the potential ethical pitfalls of manipulating human genetics. 15. Long-term ethical uncertainty takeaway. It's difficult to predict the long-term ethical consequences of today's technological innovations. Example: historical hindsight shows that technologies like nuclear energy brought both progress and peril, urging caution with emerging tech. 16. Interdisciplinary ethical oversight. Takeaway: addressing ethical dilemmas requires input from technologists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public. Example: multi-stakeholder panels on AI ethics bring together diverse perspectives to shape balanced guidelines. 17. Moral hazard in innovation. Takeaway: overconfidence in technology's benefits can lead to neglect of potential risks. Example: the financial crisis of 2008 was partly due to over-reliance on complex financial instruments without fully considering systemic risks. 18. Ethics of tech in warfare. Takeaway: emerging technologies like AI-powered weapons raise serious ethical concerns about warfare. Example: debates on autonomous drones question the morality of removing human judgment from lethal decisions. 19. Balancing innovation with societal well-being. Takeaway: the pursuit of technological advancement should not come at the expense of societal health and stability. Example: urban planning that integrates green technologies can drive innovation while improving quality of life. 20. Cultural impact of technological change. Takeaway: tech can reshape cultural norms, sometimes challenging deeply held values and ethics. Example: social media's influence on mental health has sparked cultural debates about technology's role in our lives. 21. Ethical dilemmas in data. Surveillance. Takeaway: widespread data collection raises questions about consent and individual rights. Example: the controversy over government surveillance programs has led to widespread public protests and demands for privacy protections. 22. The role of AI in decision-making. Takeaway: using AI in critical decisions, e.g., criminal justice, hiring, poses ethical challenges about fairness and accuracy. Example: bias in predictive policing algorithms has led to calls for more transparent and accountable AI systems. 23. Social disruption and trust. Takeaway: mismanaged technologies can erode public trust in institutions and disrupt social cohesion. Example: scandals involving data misuse by tech giants have damaged public confidence and led to calls for reform. 24. Impact on democratic processes. Takeaway: advanced technologies can be weaponized to influence elections and political opinions. Example: the use of targeted political ads on social media platforms has raised concerns about manipulation and the integrity of elections. 25. Ethical dilemmas in intellectual property. Takeaway: new technologies challenge traditional notions of ownership and intellectual property rights. Example: the debate over open source versus proprietary software highlights the struggle to balance innovation and profit. 26. Responsibility of tech companies. Takeaway: corporations developing powerful technologies must shoulder ethical responsibilities beyond profit-making. Example: initiatives by companies like Microsoft and Google to develop ethical AI guidelines illustrate corporate responsibility. 27. Global ethical standards. Takeaway: the international nature of technology requires globally coordinated ethical standards. Example: international collaborations on regulating emerging technologies, similar to the global response to climate change, are crucial. 28. Digital divide and access. Inequality. Takeaway: ethical considerations must address the unequal access to technology across different populations. Example: the digital divide between developed and developing nations highlights disparities in opportunities and benefits. 29. Environmental ethics and tech. Takeaway: the environmental impact of emerging technologies raises ethical questions about sustainability. Example: the energy consumption of large data centers and cryptocurrency mining operations has sparked debates about ecological responsibility. 30. Call for proactive ethical engagement. Takeaway: The chapter concludes with an urgent call for proactive, ethical engagement from all stakeholders. Example: movements advocating for tech ethics conferences and policy reform illustrate a collective push for responsible innovation. Sanctifying. These 30 key takeaways from Chapter 2, The Coming Wave, of the Coming Wave, Technology, Power, and the 21st Century's Greatest Dilemma, illustrate the author's vision of the impending technological surge. Each point is bolstered by real-life examples or stories, connecting abstract ideas to concrete experiences and emphasizing the need for thoughtful, proactive management of emerging technologies.